All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, we're going to talk about some interesting things. I already did the chart analysis earlier. I will put the link of the updated video down below. But I want us to pay close attention to some numbers here that are pretty important before I jump into all the other great information, because it's pretty awesome to see this rise back up after this slight fall, right? Downward trend. And it started to work its way back up. This didn't happen on its own. It took the support of a lot of investors jumping in, and specifically institutional investors. So we're going to talk about one of the institutional investors that keeps on making their stake bigger and bigger with Nano Dimensions, and that's ARK Invest. ARK Invest has not sold a single share up to this point that we'll be aware of. And if anything, they're adding to their portfolio. I think they see a lot of value here in growth and revenue to come in the future, and room for this company in the upward direction. I mean, they're pretty much putting out their name, right? ARK Invest, and they usually like to get in on things early. And if they're getting in on quote unquote, this is the early moments, and they keep on getting larger positions, as we're seeing Nano Dimensions hit highs that it actually didn't hit before for quite some time. That's letting us know that ARK Invest sees room here. They see room, and it's a rating of a buy based off of the indicators here on TradingView. Obviously, this is not the only indicator you should use, but it says the 1 day, because of the moving averages and the summary and so forth, buy and strong buy. And then when you go to 1 week, it's showing neutral, but then you got 2 buys. And when you got the 1 month, this one's kind of on the sell side, and this one is buy and another buy. So we need to watch this closely. We need to see how this continues to play out. Right now, it's being told as a buy, right? Single day and week and month period. So we want to see how this continues to play out. But the fact that this rose up from down here at these lows at 603 and rose up all the way to this point here at 694, that didn't happen on its own. That happened due to the fact that it took institutional investors to jump in. There probably were more than just ARK Invest, and if it was just ARK Invest, they definitely brought this up. Plus investors feeling bullish and hopeful of this upward trend and getting more before it continues to run up, because essentially when Nano Dimensions goes a little bit lower, most investors that are already invested in this, and those of you that are invested, I want to see your guys' perspective as well if you want to put it down in the comments below. But when you see Nano Dimensions have a slight pull up back, you guys look at it as a discount, and that's how ARK Invest looks at it. But ARK Invest showed us today that not only when this is pulling back they want a large position on this, they go ahead and get a larger position on Nano Dimensions even when it's going up. So pretty interesting stuff. We're going to look over everything, and if you want to see the next video that I'm going to talk about, which is really interesting as well, I'm going to kind of dive in onto this IPO that recently came out, and it's actually going to do a merger, and it's going to be, and just to give you guys a little overview, a disruptor or kind of a competitor to the real estate market, and it's going to kind of merge. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I mean, I'm going to do the video. I'll put the link down below once I get it done. This video will probably be out before that video, so you'll have to stay tuned for it, or if not, just jump on into my YouTube channel and you'll see it. It'll be the next video posted after this one. But basically, they've been jumping into this since it IPO'd, and they've already almost doubled their position. And just with the position that they've doubled, you'll go ahead and see everything I'm going to break down. But pretty interesting stuff. So ARK Invest. ARK Invest was at, let's see here, 3.884 million, right? If you want to put it in decimals, but 3,884,929 shares on the 11th, right? The 11th was Friday. The weekend passed, Monday started trading, and we've seen Nano Dimensions bring itself back up. A lot of investors were feeling bullish or looking at it as a discount, And I was kind of interested in waiting to see when was ARK Invest going to buy again, because it was on a downtrend and it was at a point that if it broke through the 603 mark that I talked about in my previous videos, it could be on its way down to newer lows. Certainly didn't do that. Nano Dimensions actually brought itself back up, and by doing so, ARK Invest was part of that catalyst, and now it's at 3,959,857. When you do the math, that right there is a total amount of about another 70,000 shares. And I've been calling it for a while now, and the way this is looking, because when they got from almost Thanksgiving weekend, right, or a little bit before it, back to like around November 27th or the 25th, all the way till like December, I'd say like the first week of December, somewhere around there, the 5th or the 6th or something, they were already at like 3.5 million shares or 3.6 million shares. From that point forward, of the first week of December leading on till now, they've been getting almost another 500,000. But in that time frame, they had gotten almost 500,000. And when I saw that, I was like, they're going to try to make this position on shares. If they don't sell any and keep on adding, they're going to raise it up to almost 4 million. We are literally 40,000 shares away from 4 million. I can see ARK Invest now going past 4 million and probably even reaching 4.5, maybe even 5 million in the near future as time progresses, if they continue this pattern of purchasing Nano Dimensions, whether it's going up or going down. Now, something that I found interesting, obviously from the last time till now, is the fact that their total market value went up. Just because it went up that slight amount, it went up 3 million. Now, it was on its way down and it fell down to 23 million. It's at 26. When they were at around 3.4, 3.5 million shares, that was the value, 26 million. So they're seeing room right now. They're exchanging, getting 400,000 to 500,000 almost larger stake in the company to be at the same place of market value that they were before, which if the volatility and they were to stay in the same place, that would have been a lesser market value right now if they didn't get any more shares. But they're adding shares on while it's going up or going down, and they're seeing room for this to be way more than where it's at right now. So they are in a position where I could see them trying to 10x their initial investment. Whatever it is, they're trying to 10x it, or even more probably than that, right? But Nano Dimensions keeps getting added onto ARKQ, ARK Invest ETF. ARK Invest continues to add on positions. I've been watching them as Nano Dimensions has been going down. They've been adding to their position through this period. Even on the time of the offering, they were coming on in. Even when it was rising, those are all good signs just from ARK Invest perspective, which is an institutional investor, to pay close attention to their behavior, because if they're not selling, they see room for growth. And if they were the ones that bought in way down here, why would they make their total value, right, of their portfolio go up as they're buying while this is going up? Like, why would you do that? Like, you know how you average down to buy a stock when it goes down to make your average down, and then if you can break even, get out or hold and make a profit? Why would you average up if you got in real early? Because they've been getting in since way back here, and I believe Nano Dimension started even their positions back here. I'm not really too sure when it all started, but they definitely took positions. And why would you average up every time? Obviously, you're trying to buy more shares because there's room. They see room and value here still. So I find that interesting. Obviously, you don't want to base your research or analysis based off of one institution. I mean, ARK Invest isn't the only institution, but they have a good track record, and I believe they have a decent amount of, obviously, analysts and groups of people that work together with these ETFs to manage them and make these decisions together. So it's not like just one person saying, this is it, this is what we're going to do. It's a group collectively and they're thinking through every single strategy because they're thinking about now and they're thinking about later. So if they're still buying in, they see room here. And right now, just based off the chart, even if they were to just go up to this point at 796 and never see it go higher, I mean, that's probably the room that they're kind of considering right now. But I think they see even further out because they've been getting in real early. And every time these offerings happen, they just keep on coming in. They keep on loading on stocks, anywhere from 50 to 100,000 at a time. And I'll never forget when they almost loaded up on like 300,000 shares recently, a couple weeks ago, even millions of shares at a time. But right now the stock is at a higher price, and they're actually, balancing their ETF, at a much slower rate. But the fact that they keep adding on and they haven't sold is a good sign. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Stay tuned. Down below, there's going to be a link for that video. I'm going to do that video next. And that information is going to be interesting and important as well. If you can't find it here, I'm going to put the heading, right, of the video name so you can find it on my YouTube channel, at least in the description, so that you could see it. There won't be a link because the video hasn't been made yet, but at least so you can be aware and stay tuned for it. It's going to be some great information in that video. Hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. And if you do, and you're a first-time viewer, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.